Welcome back to another Adonis tutorial where I'm going to lead you through how to export users, such as this list here, to a CSV file. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is where we see this add button up here, I'm going to add an export button next to it and maybe change the color of it as well. So this will actually be a anchor tag where we will then go to /export/users, and here we'll change this to export. Let's say let's just keep it at export users for now. So this export users route, we want to go to our routes file, so we can actually press Ctrl and P to search for it there. And here where we have route.get skeleton/users, which is the route that I'm currently on, I'm going to duplicate that and actually call it export users. And then here I'm going to change this to export to CSV, or actually export users to CSV. Inside this admin users controller, which we can just control and click on to open, we can do public async export users to CSV, and I don't think we'll need anything in there for now, and we'll just return a simple done, actually a success true for now. Before we actually finish this endpoint here, we're going to create a new file inside services here called export tool.ts, and inside here we'll have a async function export to CSV, and this will take a name string, a columns string array, and a data parameter, which will be an array of objects basically. So key string NA and then array, and then we'll open those brackets up, and here we'll also put what this function will return. So it will return success true and then file name, and this will be a string. And just so we can get rid of the error up there, we'll do success true. Now to actually export to a CSV, we're going to use a package called csv-writer. So if we could just go ahead and get this installed. And from this csv-writer package, csv-writer, we want to import create object csv-writer. Now inside our function here, we're going to use a try catch error. We're going to console log that error in case that RNA, and then if there is an error, we just want to return success false. We can then cut that from here inside our try statement here. If it succeeds, then we'll return the file name and success true. So inside here, the first thing we want to do is actually define this file name. So const file name, we'll call it name that we're going to pass in, and then new date dot value of, and then at the end CSV. So next, what we want to do is use this create object CSV-writer that we've imported and assign it to csv-writer here. So we do that, and then inside here we pass some parameters. So path will be export and then file name. So what we're doing here is when we actually create the CSV, the path that it puts it out to will be a folder down here called exports, basically. And then headers, here we actually want to do columns.map column, and then in here return ID column title column dot to uppercase. There we go. So now we have our csv-writer object that we can use to actually write the records to a CSV file. Next, what we want to do is we want to take the data that we're passing in, and basically this will be an array of model instances from here. So here what we'll do is we'll do const post equals const users will be user.query. So this will be our data that we're passing into here. And what we want to do is actually match up the data of each one to the columns that we pass in here. So we'll do that by doing data.map item, and then const object will be object columns dot map column return object column equals item column, just like that. And then we want to return the actual object from that. And then finally we want to do await csv-writer write records, and then we'll put formatted data into it. And that should be everything for our export to CSV function here. So it looks like I missed something there. And then false is not assigned to type true. Aha, boolean here. And now we have our export to CSV function. So inside here now we want to do const success and file name should be equal to await export users to CSV. Nope, export to CSV, which we're importing. We want to call the file users, and then for columns we're going to do const user columns should be equal to user dot column defs, and then we'll do columns equals, so what this is doing is it will return a map of objects, and we basically just want the string name of the columns. So what we're doing here is we're remapping them to columns here. It should actually be col, and then return col dot column name. Actually, this should be an array, and then columns dot push. So this should actually be user columns dot for each, and then we pass the column that we get from the for each, and then we want to push the column dot column name into our columns here. Now we actually get an error here because we haven't typed it, and then the final bit to do is we do columns here, and then we pass our users in. And then we actually get an error here because we didn't await that. And then finally we get these, which is success and file name. So if we get success false, what we want to do is just return success false. And then file name, if we do actually get a file name, all we want to do is pass file name, and then this will be /export/file name. So the final thing left to do is actually to create an exports folder in our main directory, our root directory of our project, so that we can actually write this user's CSV to it. And finally, if we go back to here and we do export users, we can see it's created a file name, users, and then the current timestamp. So if we go back to here, we can actually see we've now exported all of these users to a CSV file. Now, the final thing I did here, because in my project here I'm actually using flash messages, is actually to redirect the user back to users and then show a flash message depending on if the export to CSV function failed or if it succeeded. So if we go back here and we press export users, we now get this top message appear that says export users and the name of the file that we exported. And that concludes our tutorial today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it, share it around, comment down below what other tutorials you want to see, and I'll see you in the next video.